Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a recent report that came out from Activision regarding their in-game enforcement of like toxic game chats or whatnot in Call of Duty, because this is something that over the last like year or two they've been talking a lot about how, basically there's going to be these in-game like AI voice moderation things, right? Where basically the game like scans the voice chat to see what you're saying, and then obviously if you're saying something too crazy, too foul, offensive, something that violates the terms. Basically, that way they can enforce against your account, which can be anything from like warning you to banning you from chatting in the game to maybe even banning your account depending on how severe it is or how many times it happens, right? So I really thought this was an interesting topic, not only because of what video game this is really all surrounding, but because of just kind of how goofy it kind of makes Activision look. Now, listen, I understand, right? They don't want people going in the voice chat in Call of Duty, calling people racial slurs, being just complete garbage, right? And just attacking each other. But it's not even just about that, right? Like there's people who are getting their accounts hit because, they say fuck you to somebody, or they call their teammates shitty or whatever it may be. So even in instances where like maybe it's very minor trash talk, or realistically in Call of Duty standards, it's barely even conversing, people are still getting their accounts enforced against. And according to Activision, now they have basically hit more than 2 million accounts with in-game enforcement for disruptive voice chat. And they made a report, I guess, at least, like they were talking to the community about something, and then they started talking about this. And there's realistically a lot to go over here that I want to kind of point out and talk about here. So we were able to identify several trends that have helped evolve our approach and methodology on moderation during the voice moderation beta period in North America beginning August 30th, 2023, and into the global launch of Modern Warfare 3. Voice moderation enforcement. More than 2 million accounts have seen in-game enforcement for disruptive voice chat based on the Call of Duty Code of Conduct. For disruptive behavior found by our voice moderation, only 1 in 5 users reported the behavior, showing an unfortunate trend that players often do not report in-game instances to our disruptive behavior team. In cases that go unreported, our voice moderation system allows us to take action against players that violate the Code of Conduct. Active reporting is still critical so that players can raise any negative situation they encounter. To encourage more reporting, we've rolled out messages that thank players for reporting, and in the future, we're looking to provide additional feedback to players when we act on their reports. So first, let's go ahead and talk about this. So basically, in the last 4 to 5 months with Modern Warfare 3, the newest Call of Duty title, they've rolled out this new feature. Like I said, it's basically in-game AI voice moderation. The software, the game, or whatever, right? It listens to the voice chat. It's basically trying to listen to what you say, and if you say anything too foul or too wild, obviously you're supposed to be penalized. Now, like I said, I can understand the basic concept of wanting something like this to be put into a game, but honestly, this whole thing just seems fucking stupid. And here, let me tell you why. Because it's pretty clear that it's not, at least anymore, about banning people from saying just wild, reckless shit. Like I said, players are getting banned for very minor trash talk. I mean, let's be realistic. Somebody telling you fuck you suck in Call of Duty is not the end of the world. And if you get legitimately offended over that, or that ruins your time playing the game, you probably shouldn't be playing the game in the first place because you sound like a complete crybaby pussy. But I mean, obviously there's extreme cases where people are just, they're going out of their way to just be the biggest pieces of shit possible, right? But I mean, 2 million people have been apparently hit for in-game enforcement for disruptive video chat. Now, I just want to point out, right, this is in Call of Duty, okay, which is a franchise where if you look back historically at the games, they are video games that have depicted hundreds of horrible, violent war crimes. They have depicted a terrorist bombing that hits a family. They have depicted a mission in which you commit a mass shooting at an airport. You can literally get a bunch of kills and then drop nuclear bombs on the entire map and not only kill everyone in the game and end it, but assumedly the hundreds of thousands of people around them that are, in the cities or whatever. And it's a fucking video game about going around and literally killing people, right? But apparently, in said video game where, in the campaign, characters have called each other cocksuckers and have cussed all kinds of crazy ways, anyways. Apparently, you telling your teammate to stop shitting it up at the bottom of the leaderboard and to pick up his goddamn weight is, you know, that's taking it too far, man. So now they're kind of going beyond just like enforcing the extremes, and they're just going after very mundane situations. And this isn't just something Call of Duty's dealing with. There's been a lot of situations, it seems like, where people have been, you know, getting banned for pretty fucking stupid things in video games recently. Now, it says something pretty interesting here that I think really points out why this whole thing is fucking dumb in the first place. Quote unquote, for disruptive behavior found by the voice moderation, only 1 in 5 users reported the behavior, showing an unfortunate trend that players often do not report in-game instances. So they're like, oh, well, only 20% of the cases we investigated were actually reported by people. This isn't really a good thing because it means people aren't telling us when people are breaking the rules. And like, apparently it never one time dawned upon them that the reason why only 20% of people were reporting these fucking instances in the first place is because virtually nobody playing Call of Duty gives a shit about some toxic game chat. Most of the people playing could not give a fuck less if some guy is in there making your mom jokes in the game chat, right? Or telling people that they're shitty at the game. Obviously, that's not the only trash talk that happens in Call of Duty, right? But like, that is the vast majority of the instances that happen in the game. Is just pretty simple, basic trash talk. So like, if only 20% of the players who are playing the game care enough to even report this stupid shit happening in the game chat, why is there this like massive constant effort by Activision to keep pushing this like it's some sort of like top critical evolution for the game or something? I mean, if toxicity was such a problem in the Call of Duty community that like it was fucking up the game or something, would it not be showing in the numbers? I mean, if everybody was like, man, Call of Duty's too toxic, I should do something about this, wouldn't they be reporting the people being assholes and whatnot, right? Once again, most people just don't really give a shit. They get on Call of Duty, they hear some idiot who is probably drunk cussing in the game chat and being ignorant, they laugh at him, they realize his IQ is probably room temperature, and they keep moving about their day. But Call of Duty and Activision and a lot of other people want to act as if this is some sort of like fucking situation that needs to be put on lockdown, right? Like, and keep in mind, this is also a franchise, right? For the last several years, there has been problems in all of the new games that have released for $70, by the way. All the new games constantly have people cheating in them, even in Modern Warfare 3. Like, I just made a video a couple weeks ago about a dude who was playing Warzone professionally, quote unquote, and he had supposedly earned like tens of thousands of dollars in his career earnings and whatnot playing Warzone, and he exposed himself for cheating. And like, it happens all the time. People expose themselves on stream for cheating. People get caught cheating all the fucking time. And the vast majority of people who get caught cheating have pretty much no repercussions really happen to them. Like, there's nothing that their accounts don't get banned, you know, they don't get fucking warned, anything. But apparently, if you say too many curse words in the game chat or you make one too foul a mom joke, Activision is ready to come in like Batman and break your arm and possibly kick you off the game. Like, and I think the reason why people aren't reporting the behavior is because even when they are typically annoyed by the shit, they just use the in-game muting feature, which it seems like is a complete and forgotten relic of the past, right? Where like people just don't seem to think they exist anymore. But like, yeah, if someone's being obnoxious in game, you can report them, but you can also mute them, or you can block their profile, or leave the game. Turn down your headset audio. Like, there's so many different options of things that you could do to kind of deal with that problem, to kind of rectify it. So for most people, it doesn't matter enough for them to make the report. And honestly, I'm going to say that the 1 in 5 number is actually significantly inflated by people who only made the report as a troll to just see if they could get some idiot they were playing against banned. Because I used to do that in Rocket League all the time. Some dude start talking shit in the game chat, you know, he starts saying something that could get him banned, right? I just report him, and then like a day later, guess what? He got a 48-hour cooldown, and it was always hilarious to see it happen. That's probably exactly what's going on here, right? Like, that's probably exactly what's happening. Is like, you know, 19 out of 20% of people who are making these reports are just doing it to troll and see if they can get this guy fucked with, you know? So like, 1 in 5 users reported the behavior. Yeah, how many of those 1 in 5s, you know, were doing it because they really, really cared? I'm going to assume not as much as people want to think, or that Activision wants to think, right? So they say they had a reduction in repeat offenders. With month-over-month data, Call of Duty saw an 8% reduction of repeat offenders since the rollout of the in-game moderation. reduction. Then the reduction to toxic voice chat exposure apparently was about 50% reduction in players exposed to severe instances of disruptive voice chats. Okay, so now how much of a percent of deduction can we see on the people who encounter cheaters number? How many people can we see get reduced? Hey, I loaded up Warzone today and the first guy who killed me was cheating. How many reductions can we see for that, right? Keep in mind, they'll type out fucking 6 paragraphs about, oh, well, we've done such great work by getting people to snitch over saying curse words in the voice chat. But remember how several months ago they were supposed to like talk about skill-based matchmaking in the game? They were supposed to have like this community talk with us or whatever. And of course it never came. Like they never really addressed it ever again. If so, like barely in passing, right? Like obviously not to the level that they'll address this shit, right? They ban you for saying too many curse words, they'll write a goddamn memorandum about it, right? But yeah, if they could only do that about all the people cheating in the video game, right? Like let's really kind of consider what's probably more of a detriment and more of a problem to Call of Duty in general, right? A, mean voice chats where people make mean your mom jokes and call each other fat and, you know, cuss at each other, and occasionally some guy drops the N-bomb. Or B, option B, the $70 video game you paid for is basically broken because anytime you try to play it or have fun in it, you run against cheaters or into a massive bug, or like the recent update that completely broke the fucking game and it just stopped working pretty much. Which one would you rather not deal with, you know? Game-breaking problems that ruin the product for you, or mean words that you can mute and block? Like, yeah, no one wants to hear somebody screaming stupid shit into the mic all the time or whatever, right? But like I said, the options are already in place to handle these things. Like this, I think, is a pretty big problem with the Call of Duty franchise. Not that they're trying to like curb the toxicity, but the fact that they're prioritizing repeat offenders and saying your mom jokes and shit over actual legitimate game-breaking problems or like issues the community has had for years. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It really kind of makes me glad that I didn't purchase Modern Warfare 3, that it was the first COD I've actually sat out in, you know, over a decade, really. I just thought this whole situation was really stupid, honestly. I mean, good for them for putting in the work and making their community better or whatever, right? But, I mean, maybe you could also make your community better by addressing the real problems that people have wanted you to address for some time now. And I don't even want to hear the argument of, oh, well, they can do both, Optimus. I mean, you can work on more than one thing at a time. Apparently not. Apparently Activision and Call of Duty cannot, because, I mean, what other thing that I just mentioned have they given a really solid good update on or really fixed, you know what I mean? So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Call of Duty's new moderation feature and how well it's doing, and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but a big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs here. Your support with just $10 a month unlocks a treasure trove of exclusive videos, constantly updated, archived live stream VODs, and early access to all new uploads. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.